led the police to a pair of bloody gloves left behind in the woods. But then after that, it was done. Trail went cold. Yeah, I don't know if this is connected because it's just it like the first two attacks just seemed like this guy's cutting hair for probably some sexual preference or something. But now it's.
So I wonder, in times of this is during World War II, right after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah,
so people are already like on edge, kind of freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's some sort of like confirmation bias or something. People are connecting dots when there might not be, one criminal doing something.
Right.
I mean, obviously, this woman getting her teeth bashed in, that's a reportable crime, but a little bit of hair missing from somebody,
Yeah.
It, like, in the case of the twins or the brother and sister that were sleeping together, who's to say the brother wasn't playing a prank on the sister?
That would be a very elaborate prank because they got footprints underneath their bedroom window. So that's a very elaborate prank the brother's pulling.
Just saying. People are on edge.
Yeah, they are really on edge. The final victim of the Phantom Shears would be a Mrs. Taylor. Mrs. Taylor was asleep in her bed when she suddenly felt something pressing against her face and smelled its sickly smell. When she awoke, she reported to police she felt violently ill and noticed the window had been sliced open and a lock of her hair had been cut from her head. Police suspected the Phantom had used some sort of chloroform rag in order to cause Mrs. Taylor to lose consciousness in order to go about his business. So apparently this person is learning. Just putting a rag over someone's face. Yeah.
Again, what's the connection between these crimes, right?
I mean, they're getting their hairs cut off. Somebody's breaking into their house, cutting their screens, and cutting their hair.
This is all happening in the same town?
Same town.
Okay. So they catch somebody, I assume, right?
Well, 2 months had passed, because that was the Taylor attack was the last attack. 2 months had passed, and then the police finally announced they made an arrest. A 57-year-old German chemist named William Dolan was arrested. Allegedly, police believe that he was a Phantom since he had previously had an argument with the Hindenburgs. It was also reported he had been a Nazi sympathizer. FBI investigators were able to tie him to the attacks after a bag of hair was found in his backyard and believed to have belonged to the second victim, Carol Pinette, the youngest of the victims. In spite of the evidence, Dolan was charged with the attack on the Hindenburgs, but curiously enough, never charged with any of the unwanted haircuts. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison for attempted murder, but he denied the entire time that he was a Phantom. Throughout no attacks that occurred during Dolan's arrest, some people believe that the Phantom moved on. And apparently this Dolan had been a Nazi sympathizer.
Yeah, and it says so here that even though he was believed to be the Phantom Barber, there were several who thought he fell victim to German phobia.
Yeah, it sounds like it really sounds like Germanophobia, and people were calling him like a Nazi and stuff like that. Now, you have the attack on the Hindenburgs, which I think is a totally separate, different incident than this Phantom Barber incident going on. You're accusing him of being a Nazi. What is the purpose of a Nazi breaking into your home and cutting your hair? So let's just say this is a Nazi spy ring going on in the United States. And
in Pascagoula, Mississippi.
In Pascagoula, Mississippi, of all places. And you have this Nazi spy ring going on, and you're like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go around, we're going to cut the hair of all the women, we're going to make them feel how it's safe. It's not safe. And then we will bring up our plan, Herr Göring. What is Herr Göring? That's when we take all the hair I love the smell of dry split ends in the morning. I did not.
Unlikely, right?
Highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely. So this guy was released a few years later after passing a lie detector test, right?
Yeah, 6 years later, the governor of Mississippi asked Dolan to submit to a lie detector test. He passed, including questions related to the attack on the Hindenburgs. He was given an early release.
So this guy spent 6 years in jail.
6 years in jail, yep.
No real evidence.
Pretty much.
All right.
Could be a case of Germophobia. Yeah, because I don't see Nazis going around
cutting people's hair. In Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Yes, they hate the Jews. They hate anyone that's not them.
Hair?
It's just hair, cutting hair. Even the neo-Nazis of the day, they run around breaking into people's houses, cutting their hair. Possibly. They might have a hair fetish.
And honestly, that's what this sounds like, right?
Yeah, this sounds like some sort of like fetish.
Yeah.
And just trying to collect hair and shit. Like, or like I heard one theory, like there was multiple theories of who the Phantom Barber was, because a lot of people don't think it was Dorn. One theory I heard that they thought it was a Japanese special ops team.
Oh, because he was short and fat.
Short and fat. I don't think the Japanese army had someone short, sort of fat. Like, all right, we're going to send this guy in. It was like, why? Because he's sort of short, sort of fat. And we can't have that in the army. Might as well just drop him off where?
Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Exactly. Did you just point your finger on a map and that was the first spot you find? Yes.
Send him in.
Send him in. Have him go out and cut hair. Some theories thought that it was... Stay with you now.
Aliens.
Exactly. Because of the first attack, the first description of it, they were like, well, that doesn't sound... Someone went, that doesn't sound human. Yeah, it is. They're sort of short sort of fat people. Yeah, wearing sweatshirts and shit. Fuck.
No, man, it makes more sense that sentient beings traveled across the universe at the speed of light, came to our planet, landed in Pascagoula, Mississippi, to cut a few locks of hair, and then return to their home planet.
Yep.
It was a surveillance mission.
Yeah, surveillance mission is the highest guy. We need your hair. Well, you can take it, but I don't know. We'll fight you to the death for this. You know how much I love dry split ends on my hair.
So
I hate that.
We're marking this one as unsolved.
Yes, this is going to stay unsolved.
The Phantom Barber will remain Phantom.
Yeah, but notice, or another reason I picked the story, notice how it sounded a lot similar to the Matt Gasser of Mattoon, Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Phantom, just weird shit going on in some place that you never suspected would happen.
But again, this happened, even that happened like around World War II, right?
Yeah, that was like a year later. 43 was the Matt Gasser, and 42 was the Phantom Barber.
Right. So again, I just harken back to this, kind of hysteria thing going on where Americans are just freaked out and they come up with like elaborate, theories to explain some weird stuff going on. I'm not saying that there wasn't a Phantom Barber.
I think there was, yeah.
But I don't know. Two or three incidents happening in one town. Yeah, it could have been something, but there isn't enough evidence to point one way or the other.
Yeah, I think that the three haircuts are like the process of could be some sailor, because this is a naval yard in that town.
Okay.
It's on the coast. It could be some sailor or some dude that's sick, joined the Navy, and going around before he's on shore leave, going around cutting hair. Yeah, it's just because he could. He just was like, I didn't get any from a girl. I might be going off to die in the Pacific or something. Let me just have this hair and this dry split ends. So I can just have something from a girl or something.
You know those Navy guys are out in the sea for months.
Yeah.
You need some motivation.
Yeah, those seamen swabbing the poop deck.
Yes.
In the Navy. No offense to people in the Navy. Listen to this.
Except for you.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Yeah. You know who you are, Bill. You know who you are. I'm sorry, you got any...
I was going to say, any thoughts from the crowd?
It's just creepy.
Yeah.
A guy cutting female hair. Yeah. It's a little weird.
Yeah, just a
little bit weird.
Yeah, so when we say to people, keep your windows locked tight, even if you have it open, make sure your screens are locked tight, and have obstacle courses down on the bottom of your windows. We mean that. And,
also, if you are a hairnet.
Yeah, you got nothing to worry about because they got to take all the hair down. They take all the hair down, they're gonna wake you up. And this is white women's hair. Don't go under black women's hair. Yeah. And, don't go under black women's hair. You wouldn't even get that close. She would open her eyes like, who the fuck? And start beating the crap out of you. And also buy curtains.
And kids, the lesson of the story is don't touch black women's hair.
Yes. And buy curtains.
Alright, we're done with this one?
Yes, we're done with this one. We had our laughs. Now it's time to get a little serious a little bit. Oh, man. The second part of this episode deals with... this is kind of like a review, almost, not entirely a follow-up to the documentary on Netflix. A documentary on Netflix. If you haven't seen it yet, stop this recording and go and watch it and come back. But the documentary is Who Killed Malcolm X? Which brought up a lot of interesting questions that I thought that maybe I should save it for another episode, but because the Phantom Barber and the whole thing was so short, I figured it'd be a great way to segue into this episode. We're not going to get too in-depth into it because there's a lot of questions that the documentary brings up and a lot of things that needs to be researched in a very long story. But I just want to get a couple of questions out of the way for this and to enlighten people about this. So, again, the documentary on Netflix right now called Who Killed Malcolm X, and it looks like it looks into the killing of Malcolm X, the civil rights leader from the 60s and the former spokesman of the Nation of Islam, but who, after his split from the Nation of Islam in 64, who really truly killed him. Now, 3 people were caught and tried, convicted of the murder of Malcolm X, and
it happened in 65, yeah.
Yeah, 65. February 21st, 1965, at the Ogul Ballroom in New York. 3 people were caught, tried, and convicted. But 2 of them maintain their innocence, including now. Now, one of the assassins, one of the people convicted of the assassination of Malcolm X, Thomas Johnson.
Thomas Johnson, who took the name Khalil Islam. Yes,
he was one of the people that maintained his innocence until he died in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
The other person, Thomas Hagen, who's still living with us, who's still alive today, also claims his innocence. And the documentary goes into their alibis in the case. And it comes to find out that Thomas Hagen, from his account and other eyewitnesses' accounts, even the other assassin, Talbridge Hayer, probably mispronouncing that again, was not there at all. Various witnesses, even a doctor, had said that Thomas Hagen was not there, that he was in a cast at his house laying on his couch when Malcolm X was assassinated because he had a foot injury. And Talbridge Hayer backs that up in an affidavit, 2 affidavits after the trial in the late 70s. So before we get a little bit more in depth into this, Ogul, do you have any thoughts?
I'll be completely honest. I don't know too much about the assassination of Malcolm X. I know enough about his life, but not too much about the assassination.